Moon Knight Episode 2 is now out and available for you guys to go and check out on Disney+. I have just watched the second episode, and I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on this episode, but I want to know in the comments below, what are your thoughts as well? Smash it down there, let's get a discussion going. Smash that like button for me and click subscribe as well, and without further ado, we're going to jump into this review of Episode 2 of Moon Knight. Okay, so Moon Knight Episode 2. Look, I'm just going to say straight away, the first episode of Moon Knight, I think, is the strongest Disney Plus Marvel show we have got so far. That opening pilot episode was just absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. It had everything. It gave me the vibe of what the show was going with. I thought Oscar Isaac was absolutely brilliant playing this character, and it really made me thirst for more. So now that I've seen episode 2, I am just really wrapped up in this show right now. I think this second episode is even better than the first episode. I really enjoyed this episode a lot. From the action sequences to the dialogue to just the scenes. Like, my favorite part about this episode wasn't really the action sequences. It was when Ethan Hawke and Oscar Isaac were sitting down and having a conversation with each other about justice and how it should be dished out and how it shouldn't be dished out. Where do you draw the line? This whole ideology conversation that they were having. I thought that was so incredibly interesting and so good that was my favorite part about this episode. When that conversation was happening, and when you have such world-class actors doing it, that just set the tone for me of like, wow, this is some deep dive into these characters and their ideology and where they're coming from, their motives, their whole character structure of what they are and who they are is coming out now. And we got to see more and understand more about Ethan Hawke's character and what his actual plan is. What is his motive? Why is he doing what he's doing? We now have a clearer picture of why he's doing that. He's obviously got resentment to the particular god that threw him aside. He's now looks like being manipulated by another god and is taking on this ideology of stopping evil before it occurs, even if it is judging someone that is innocent at that point in time, but they're in their future, they may do something bad, so you end them right then and there. So I like that. I like to see that character has this motivation, and I can understand why he's doing what he's doing, and that makes for a good, compelling villain. That's what I want. And then we see Oscar Isaac's character, Steven and Mark, really take on this idea of, can you punish a baby or a child or anything like that when they're innocent? I like that they are having conflict like that. It doesn't have to be physical conflict. It's just this mental warfare of them questioning each other's ideology, which I find so intriguing, so interesting. With the lore that they are giving us as now of these Egyptian gods, we've got Norse gods in the MCU. We've got these high-powered beings, these cosmic beings, and now we are diving into the Egyptian god lore, which I find so fascinating, and it's just so incredible and so much fun to be entertained like that with this sort of stuff. The suit is really cool. There's this funny moment with this suit that I absolutely laughed and loved as well. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. But when he turns into the full combat suit, that rooftop sequence was just so good. I was just sitting there watching it, and I'm sitting there and just thinking to myself, this is awesome. Like, this is a character that I only knew very little about. I only heard from people when it got announced, the Moon Knight series. I only started to find out a bit about Moon Knight. But now, watching this show has piqued my interest into Moon Knight, that I want to dive into some research to understand more about this character and the other iterations of this character. I'm so intrigued, and watching this sequence of him running, doing these moves, having this enhanced power, this supernatural feel that we have about this show is just so cool. It's something we haven't seen in the MCU yet. We haven't seen this supernatural element. We know Blade's coming. We've had Morbius, which is sort of supernatural as well. But this is real supernatural. Like, this is going down to gods and demons and sort of stuff like that. Like, we are seeing when the action sequence happening, no one else can see these demon-like creatures except for him, which I thought was intriguing and cool at the same time. And I like that. It's opening the world and expanding the universe of the MCU into these deeper realms of possibilities. We're not just having the universal galactical cosmic stuff. We're not just having the earth-based stuff. We are having supernatural stuff as well occur, which I'm so intrigued. I want to know what other characters are going to come along as well that we could potentially see in this series. Moving forward is going to be interesting because you know Blade's a supernatural character, so does he make an appearance? I don't know, but now I want to see how Moon Knight is going to impact the MCU as a whole and where Moon Knight's going to fit in with everything else. I'm really intrigued by that. The effects were good in this episode as well. I thought they were outstanding as well. It doesn't look like a TV budget. It feels like a movie budget, which I like as well. I think some of the costume designs as well are great as well. The music, the score is absolutely fantastic and incredible. It really hits the nail and gives me the vibe that I think they're trying to go for, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The performances are great as always. Ethan Hawke is just absolutely fantastic. He brings this immense presence when he's on screen of a guy that you just don't want to mess with, and Oscar Isaac is just fantastic at playing this character that has multiple personalities that are so good, and sometimes the conversation of him just having a conversation with himself is just so incredible and so powerful, and he really plays this brilliant character when he's Steven that is just broken mentally and is trying to figure out what is going on. Is he going mad? Is he going mentally insane? Or is this actually happening? I thought that was all perfect and it was well balanced. I'm so excited now to see where we're going to go with episode 3. We're in Egypt now. I'm loving Moon Knight. I really am loving this. And so far, these 2 episodes have been my favorite out of the Disney Plus shows by a long way. Like, I'm talking that these are like, I can't wait. I cannot wait to see more Moon Knight. So let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of episode 2? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down below. Smash that like button for me. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe.